Hello, today the topic is Training Plan and EDM by GxpManager. I assume you have been watching both non-compliance, customer complaint and CAPA videos already. Being a SaaS solution, GxpManager needs both a login and a password to connect, as well as any modern browser and an internet connection. On this landing page everything is customizable, from the picture you see to the company's logo. We handle multiple languages. I'm typing my login and password. Once connected, I can choose the environment and the application. Here I choose QMS-4-SME. You can build any kind of graphics as long as the data is on the system. Stay tuned for additional videos on this topic. On the bottom of the page you have your pending list with assign and current workflows. Clicking on the upper left corner menu will take you to the application structure. Since we'll address the training plan and electronic documentation management together, I will present you the training section under Quality Management System. The document lifecycle management under the Documents section. Finally, the staff members and their functions under the Resource Management section. The first step is to manage the training plan by identifying different roles and functions in your organization. For that, I browse to function to create the proper entries. As usual with GxpManager, click on Create to open the form. For the demonstration, let's create our internal developers function. Now, let's create our training catalog. I browse to the training section, and I open a new form. For that training, I can imagine this is related to the algorithm. So I set the unique ID as algorithm version 1. I choose classroom and type, set the title as algorithm, and I add a matching description for that new training. Since I created the developers function before, I'm now able to link this training to this new function using the links section on the right. Of course, you may attach training material documents, like a syllabus for instance, to your training. So now that you set up your training, attached functions and training materials to it, you can create the training, and that's all there is to it. In order for someone to attend a training, that person has to exist, right? So let's create a staff member by going to the Resource Management section and Staff Member. As usual with our product, very easily create a record with the plus button. The form opens. Set the staff member's trigram, its owner or login, first and last names, email, type, and a job description. Link a role or function to the newly created staff member, here this is a developer, and create the record. At that point, the training is automatically attached to the staff member. How magical is that? Similarly, I can then browse to the training table and open my algorithm training, and see that my new developer is linked to it. One of the key features of training plan management is to allow anyone to quickly see its training status, whether the courses you took or what's left to do. For that, I can browse to the training following section. Let me break the filter here. On this demo environment I'm a power user, but a typical user will only see its own training list. Seeing everyone can also be useful for the management to track training completion by staff members. The first record is the resulting attachment between the new developer and the new training. I see that the person didn't follow the training as well as he obviously didn't approve it. As soon as a training is linked to someone, the person is notified by email stating that a new training is ready for him. So let's pretend I'm the trainee. When I connect, I will only see my trainings here as mentioned just before. As the trainee, I can declare that I took the classroom training on algorithms. I click yes on the form and then I approve and sign. I see that the developer took the classroom training and signed that he did so. So, to resume, we create the functions, or roles if you prefer, we create the trainings and link them to functions, we create the staff members or reuse already existing staff members within QMS-4-SME, and the training following is automatically created, plus, the trainees are notified to take the trainings. All that we did for the trainings is also doable for the documentation and its lifecycle. So let me browse to the Document Management section and open the draft table. To create a document, you always have to create a draft as the first step. As usual with GxpManager, create a record with the plus button on the toolbar and the draft document form opens. For the demonstration purposes, let's create the training management SOP. The versioning is automatically handled by the system. I set the type as procedure, category as QA related, and the title of the document. Next, I create and start the workflow. This will create the document reference as you see on the current step on top. I must define who will be the writer, the verifier, and finally the approver. At this very point, the writer has been notified, meaning that when he connects to GxpManager, the new record will be found on the pending list. The writer opens the record, types in the revision data, creation in that case, and browses to the actual document. I'll open the document to show you that both the footer and header are not considered. Simply write the raw content of your document outside the system with Microsoft Word, and the final layout will be handled by GxpManager. Load the document in the record, link the function or several functions associated to this document. You can add as many as needed. You can easily link documents that are already in the system, simply by opening the list of documents, as I'm showing you here. I'll choose the approved document on the list and link it to the record. Now that I've written my document, linked the proper roles to it, and linked an additional document, I can move the workflow one step forward to the reviewal process. I approve and sign the workflow and the reviewer gets notified. The person connects to GxpManager with the ability to review the document. The verifier selects and opens the record, and can check the document content with the GXP Viewer feature. That way, the verifier can read the document without downloading it on his station. Once read, the document can be either rejected or approved. As usual, if rejected, a comment is mandatory. The verifier approves the document. The approver is notified that a document has to be approved in the system. The person connects to GxpManager, opens the record, checks if the form is conform in terms of data, chooses the effective date, may change the validity, here we chose 3 years by default, checks the content of the document, checks if the functions are well chosen as well as the linked documents. To finally approve the document, and the document disappears from the draft table. But no worries, the document is now under the approved table. The approver is now able to publish and release the document by clicking on the Publish button, choosing the right model, and add it to the applicable document table. Note that this is allowed based on user rights you define to certain people or groups of people. In a few words, not everyone is allowed to publish and release documents. This generates the PDF file, attaches it to the applicable documents, and feeds the document reading list for the concerned staff members. If I browse to the applicable documents, I see that my new document is there. I can read the document with the GXP Viewer, and I see the staff members were automatically linked to it under the link section. As the staff member who needs to read the document, I browse to the reading following section and I see I need to read the document. Of course I was notified about this, and by the way, here is the customizable email I received. The staff member can download and read the document, to later declare so and approve using the single-step workflow. So, we just saw how to create trainings, staff member, documents, release documents, and build the reading or training list. Thanks for watching our QMS-4-SME training plan and electronic documentation management presentation.